When I was just a boy, we went on a family vacation, and it was a wonderful family vacation. There were four kids. There were six of us in the car, and the car trunk was full of our things. We had all our clothes that we needed, and we had our tent, and we had our sleeping bags, and we had our food all packed in the car. And off we went on a vacation to go down through the great American South and to visit some very neat places through Tennessee. We were in the mountains of Tennessee, and we were driving, and my dad was driving, and we wanted to stop for the night to camp out. And so we were always looking every night. We're looking for a camping place where we would set up our tent and build a fire and make our dinner. But the kids always wanted a camping place that had a swimming pool. Now, those were a little bit more expensive than the ones that didn't have a swimming pool. And we didn't have the internet back then, so you kind of had to use regular old paper maps, and you didn't have as much information. So we would be driving along, and my mom and dad would, let's see how far we can get, they would say. And then we would be looking at billboards, and we'd say, there's a campsite. Oh, wait a minute. No, they don't have a swimming pool. And my dad, well, we might have to stop at one that doesn't have a swimming pool so it doesn't get dark. Oh, no, we want to go to one with a swimming pool. And so sometimes we would find a camp spot with a swimming pool. One night we found one, just a beautiful place in the mountains of Tennessee, and it had a really nice bathhouse, and it had a really nice swimming pool, and we got there in time to set up before dark, and we built our fire, and we had our dinner, and I set up my little pup tent in the back, and it was a beautiful place to camp out, and there was a swimming pool so that we could swim. And the next morning we were on our way down through the mountains of Tennessee, and we drove all day, and into the night then, or toward the evening, we were looking for a place, and we couldn't find a place, and so we ended up driving through the night and maybe pausing a little bit, sleeping, and kind of sharing drivers. Grandma and Grandpa, we were sharing drivers, my mom and dad. And we got in the morning, and the sun came up, and we drove into a little sleepy village in Tennessee, and my dad said, we're going to stop here, and we're going to have ourselves some breakfast. And so we stopped on the village square in the middle of this little town in the mountains of Tennessee, and it was a summer morning, and my dad and my mom began to spread out our breakfast stuff on the trunk of the car. Well, right about that time, something happened that I still remember to this day. A nice old man came walking by, and he said, he looked at our license plate on our car, and he said, oh, I can see you're from out of state. You're from Ohio. What brings you down our way? And we were telling him we were on our vacation, and he says, well, I'm glad you came to Tennessee. We don't want you to stay out here and have to eat off your car. Let me open the town hall, and we've got a nice table, and I can make you some coffee. And my dad said, well, that would be really nice. So this nice old man opened up the door of the town hall, and he set up a table for us, brewed us some coffee, and we talked with him for a while and chatted for a while. We had our breakfast, then eventually we cleared up our breakfast and cleaned things up and got back in our car. We said goodbye to the nice man in the mountains of Tennessee. I thought that was such a happy memory. I went back to Tennessee to preach just a few years ago, and I was thinking about the people there in Tennessee, how friendly they were and how hospitable they were and how nice it was to be there. And the people that were keeping me at their home where I was preaching at their church, they were the same way. And when I got ready to preach on Sunday morning, I got up to speak, and I said to the people, I told them that little story about how that friendly man welcomed us and was kind to us and shared what he had and made us feel welcome. And I thought, how wonderful is that? And how it brightened our day when you can show kindness to a stranger, to a traveler, to a person who doesn't have maybe what you have. What a wonderful thing to do. Well, how Christian is that? Whenever you get a chance, if you have something, share it with other people. If you can show kindness or friendliness to people, they're traveling a hard road sometimes. So that's something that you want to remember, because when you do that for people, they'll remember it for years and for years and for years.